Hi, I'm Ashton Lewis, Technical Product Manager at RahrBSG, here to talk about Whirlfloc, another one of those great products to help make clear beer. So Whirlfloc is interesting. It's interesting because it comes from what we call seaweed, or technically sea moss, or specifically Eucheuma cottony. Now Whirlfloc is one of those things you wonder, why did brewers add seaweed to beer? But that's a talk for a different day. So what Whirlfloc is, it's an extract of Eucheuma cottony, commonly called sea moss, or guso in the Philippines where it's grown. But the extract from this type of sea moss is very rich in a polysaccharide called kappa-carrageenan. So kappa-carrageenan is important for the activity of Whirlfloc. This is also used in a lot of different food products as an emulsifier. But in the world of beer, we use Whirlfloc as what we call a copper fining. That's a British term, or a kettle fining, because it's added to the wort at the end of the boil. So that's a little bit about what it is. Well, what does it do? This charged polysaccharide, the kappa-carrageenan, will pull out specific types of proteins that are present in wort. Now, unusually, when you add the Whirlfloc to the hot wort, actually it does make the visual appearance of the trub change. So a lot of people think, well, it must have an effect on hot break. Truth is, the most prominent effect that Whirlfloc has is on cold break formation that forms after the wort is cooled after the boil. So we add it during the boil, not because that's where it's most active, but because we need to get the kappa-carrageenan in solution, because whether we're using Whirlfloc G or the granule version, or Whirlfloc T, which is a powder that's been pressed into a tablet, it takes time for that polysaccharide to dissolve into the wort. So that's where it's added. We add it toward the end of the boil. And as that wort is cooled, what happens is the Whirlfloc, the kappa-carrageenan, starts to react with proteins in the wort that are responsible for chill, and that also reacts with lipids in the wort to form a compact break that settles to the bottom of the fermenter. Now, some brewers will actually remove that break before fermentation begins. A lot of brewers just let that ride through fermentation. It really doesn't matter whether you remove it before fermentation or let that cold break stay in the fermenter during fermentation. The key thing is, though, is that why are we using Whirlfloc? Well, it helps to make a more clear beer. So anytime we remove protein from beer, we improve the clarity. So Whirlfloc improves beer clarity. It improves the colloidal stability. In other words, it helps protect against chill haze. And then the other thing it does is it actually extends filter runs. So for breweries that are using depth filtration like DE filtration or perlite filtration or sheet filtration, the use of Whirlfloc has a profound effect on lengthening your filter runs. And that's an effect that a lot of brewers overlook, primarily because a lot of small brewers these days don't filter. So that's a little bit about why are we using it? It's in the pursuit of clear beer. The last question we get about Whirlfloc is how much do we add? Now, Whirlfloc, it's a fining, it's a kettle fining, and like other finings, it's really important to run an optimization trial. Now, the typical usage rate of Whirlfloc is in the 20 to 50 ppm range, so that's a good starting point. But of all the finings that we sell at RahrBSG, Whirlfloc is the one fining that's most affected by the wort composition because it's removing protein from the wort, whereas other finings primarily remove yeast. So this is removing protein from the wort, and it's really, really important to have an optimized addition rate based upon the type of beer you're producing. So that could be differences in original gravity, it could be differences in the malt that are being used, different adjuncts that are used. So the type of beer that's being brewed, and then it's very, very important to optimize Whirlfloc when you come up with a new crop of barley for that year. So when we change barley crops for the new malt, that's obviously a time where that change can have an effect on your Whirlfloc usage rate. So that's really what I want to talk to you today about Whirlfloc. Like any other product that we carry at RahrBSG, if you have questions, please contact your sales manager, your customer service rep, or me, Ashton Lewis, directly, and we'll get you that information you need. Cheers.